The NFL can't stop shaking with what's happening in the nation's capital. A political controversy could completely change the course of our franchise right before the draft. Can you imagine going back to the old days? This news is blowing up. The network stopped. Meanwhile, analysts have already picked their favorite for our first-round pick, a defensive talent that could transform our secondary and fill that hole that cost us several games last season. But that's not all. An impending bombshell could explode in the next few hours with a potential move that would shake the entire league. A brutal trade for a defensive superstar that would put our Commanders right in the Super Bowl. Conversation. Stay glued to this screen because what you're about to hear in the next few minutes could completely change the future of our franchise. The war zone is burning hot in D.C., and you need to know every detail before anyone else. The debate of the century is back in Washington. Donald Trump has reignited the controversy over our franchise's name. During a recent press conference, the president suggested that the former name of the Commanders had a special heritage and was superior to the current one. I tell you this, we're facing an explosive situation that could divide our fan base even more. Do we really want to reopen this wound? I believe Josh Harris has been clear about building something new, something that represents the winning mentality we are developing. Commanders means something in this building, Harris said after our phenomenal playoff run. And he's absolutely right. This team has forged a new identity under the leadership of Quinn and Peters. An identity based on mental toughness, teamwork, and excellence on the field. It's important to remember the full context of this situation. The franchise officially changed its name in 2022 after dropping the previous one in 2020 due to long-standing criticism. This change was not a decision taken lightly, but the result of years of debate and reflection about how the organization wanted to be perceived in modern society. Trump's comments arose when he was questioned about the possible return of the team to the old RFK Stadium, suggesting that a name change could be part of the agreement. But let's be honest, do we really want to condition our future by revisiting a past that divided our fan base? Absolutely not! The issue becomes even more complicated when we consider the tremendous sports progress we have made under the new identity. We reached the NFC Championship, for crying out loud. When was the last time we were this close to the Super Bowl? This team is building a completely new legacy, and the name Commanders is intrinsically tied to that resurgence. Moreover, we must consider the broader implications. Trump also criticized the MLB's Cleveland Guardians for their name change. The trend in professional sports has been clear: evolve towards identities that unite all fans rather than alienating segments of the population. Why should Washington swim against the current? Now I ask you, is it worth looking back when we're finally building something special moving forward? Trump's comments may generate headlines, but the progress of this team generates victories. And as passionate fans, don't we prefer to focus on the latter? Adam Peters is focused on the future, preparing for his second draft with the organization. Making phone calls to the draftees was one of the best parts of the job last year. Peters sighed. This man is looking towards tomorrow, not debating yesterday. And let's think for a moment about the current players. They have sweated, bled, and fought under the Commanders' banner. They have created unforgettable moments that are already part of our collective history. What message would we be sending them if we suggested that all of that happened under an inferior identity? I believe we need to close this chapter once and for all. The name Commanders is gaining meaning with every victory, every spectacular play, every moment that makes us jump out of our seats. True tradition is built with success, not with names. Get ready for a draft bombshell. According to ESPN's latest projections, our Commanders might select Maxwell Hairston, the electrifying cornerback from Kentucky, with our number 29 pick in the first round. Now I ask you, is this really what we need? Hairston has 6 interceptions in 2 years, impressive agility in tight spaces, and fierce competitiveness. But is it enough to elevate us to the next level? Let's look at the numbers in detail. Hairston doesn't have jaw-dropping statistics, but his evolution has been steady and promising. In the SEC, one of the most competitive conferences in college football, he's shown he can go up against elite receivers and emerge victorious in those one-on-one battles. That speaks volumes about his ability to adapt to the professional level. What truly impresses me about this kid is his mentality. He plays every snap like it's his last. He never gives up on any play and has that innate instinct to anticipate what the quarterback will do. That quality can't be taught, folks. You either have it or you don't, and Hairston definitely has it. I believe John Keim is right when he says Washington can address offensive line, running back, and quarterback. Pressure needs later in the draft. Depth in the secondary could be exactly what we need to complement Marshon Lattimore, Mike Sanristil, and Noah Igbinoghene. Let's think strategically for a moment. Today's NFL is a league dominated by the aerial game. You need at least 3 quality cornerbacks to compete week after week against offenses deploying 3 and 4 receivers in open formations. Adding Hairston will give us that critical depth and tactical flexibility that Dan Quinn needs to implement his defensive vision. There are critics who say Hairston might struggle against more physical receivers. Come on, this is something that can be corrected with proper training and a professional conditioning program. What can't be taught is the natural instinct, hip fluidity, and recovery ability this young man already possesses. The reality is that our defense was our Achilles heel last season. We all saw it. Critical moments where we couldn't stop the opponent. And I say this to you with total conviction. Adding a young talent like Hairston could be exactly the piece we're missing. Furthermore, let's consider the economic factor. Rookie on a first-round contract is a bargain compared to what it will cost to bring in a veteran cornerback from free agency. That gives us salary flexibility to strengthen other areas of the team in the coming years. This kid has long arms, great instinct for anticipating routes, and exceptional skills for playing the ball in both man-to-man and zone coverage. Doesn't that sound like exactly the type of player Dan Quinn is looking for his defense? Let's also remember that our division is full of talented receivers. The Eagles with Jay Brown and Devonta Smith, the Giants with Malik Nabers, and the Cowboys with C.D. Lamb. We need all the help we can get in the secondary to counter these divisional threats we face twice a year. Sure, he needs development. He has to improve his ball positioning in open field and will face challenges against more physical receivers. But I ask you, isn't it worth investing in a talent that could become a defensive pillar for the next few years? Bombshell! Are you ready for this? According to Pro Football Focus, the Commanders might be preparing a seismic move to acquire quarterback hunter Trey Hendrickson from the Cincinnati Bengals. Using our number 29 draft pick, I firmly believe this would be a masterstroke by Adam Peters. We're talking about a predator who has racked up 17.5 sacks in each of his last 2 seasons. 17.5. Can you imagine that kind of production on our defensive line? Let me put it in perspective for you. Only 10 players in the entire NFL racked up more than 12 sacks last season. Hendrickson is not only among the elite, he's at the top of the mountain. This is a player who requires double teaming on every play, freeing up other defenders to do damage. It's a domino effect that transforms the entire defense. And we're not talking about a one-hit wonder. His consistency is astounding. 4 consecutive seasons with at least 8.5 sacks. A 3-time consecutive Pro Bowler. This man is the definition of elite in his position. There's no way to refute these numbers. They're simply spectacular. The situation in Cincinnati is complicated. Hendrickson is frustrated because the Bengals extended their star receivers but haven't reached an agreement with him as he enters the final year of his contract. The door is open, but the price could be high. According to this hypothetical trade, the Commanders wouldn't just send their number 29 pick to the Bengals, but would also receive the 81 pick in return. This is the kind of deal where both parties get value. The Bengals gain draft capital to rebuild, while we acquire proven talent and an additional third-round pick. Hendrickson's frustration with Cincinnati is no secret. He wants a contract reflecting his value in the current market, and the Bengals so far haven't shown willingness to meet those demands. The result? A golden opportunity for Washington. Now I ask you, would it not be worth paying that price? We've already seen the aggressiveness of our management acquiring Laramie Tunsil, and Deebo Samuel. Peters has shown he doesn't fear making bold moves when he identifies talent that fits the team's vision. Some critics will say, why bring in a veteran who will require an expensive extension? I respond with another question. How many elite pass rushers are available at the 29 draft position? The answer is none. The probability of getting a player of Hendrickson's caliber at that position is practically nil. Moreover, our competitive window is now. We reached the NFC Championship last season. We're not in rebuild mode. We're in win now mode. And in that context, Hendrickson represents an immediate upgrade that could be the difference between falling short again or finally reaching the Super Bowl. Some will say we should conserve our picks. I tell you this, a proven player like Hendrickson is worth more than any prospect at position 29. We are talking about guaranteed production, a player who can completely transform our defense. Think also about the cultural impact. Bringing in a player of Hendrickson's caliber sends a clear message to the locker room and the entire league. The Commanders are all in, betting on winning now. That kind of mindset is contagious and elevates the level of commitment and expectations throughout the organization. And under Dan Quinn's direction, can you imagine the immediate impact he would have? Our defense will go from being a weakness to a formidable strength. Rival quarterbacks would have nightmares before facing us. The coming hours will define the future of our franchise. Will we keep the Commanders' name despite political pressures? Will we choose to strengthen our secondary with young talent like Hairston? Or will we make the ultimate move by bringing in a predator like Hendrickson? I want to know your opinion. Do you think we should consider a name change after all we've achieved as Commanders? Do you prefer we keep our pick and choose Hairston or trade it for Hendrickson? Which of these three news items will have the greatest impact on the future of our franchise? This is the most exciting time of the year for true fans. The season is built now, decision by decision. If you want to stay updated with every move and exclusive analysis from the Commanders, make sure to subscribe to this channel and activate notifications. We are the #1 source of information for the Commanders family, and you are a fundamental part of this community. And remember, hail to the Redskins!